Hi guys, and welcome to our first ever Pimp Design Live. What we're going to be doing each fortnight is looking at creative and whether that you guys have submitted, and we're going to look at some design, how we can pimp it up. And the first submission that we have this week is from Dirty Life, or A Dirty Life. So check them out, it's at dirtylife.com. Basically what they've sent through to us is a logo to be redesigned or zhuzhed up. So I'll start by bringing up their current logo. So this is their current logos on the left. I would say that it's not overly bad, so it's not what I would consider crap. But the first rule of thumb, I guess, when it comes to logo design is whether or not you know what they do. So I know what they do, but it could be a variety of different things, but they play in that sort of four-wheel drive camping lifestyle adventure space. And that's what it's like Get Dirty is about. I'll start by, before I get into actually redesigning it or making any crazy changes, I would start by just talking about what you can do with the logo as it is. So at the moment, I know the font they're using is TT Muscles, and Hayden quite likes this block font, and so do I, to be honest. So what I would do is, like, the full stop for me is also probably not in the right spot. Just from a flow point of view, because it's like a dirty life, whereas I feel like a dirty life is the statement. So if you wanted to put a full stop, I feel like you should put it at the end of life, or not have one at all. I think this logo is not italic. Oh, it must be. Excuse me. Anyway, so what I would start with is just some space alignment. So at the moment, this is what the logo looks like, and then you've got life down here in another font, which I'm not sure what it is. And what bothers me about this is that these sort of aren't even aligned to the text above it. So there's a few pixels out there, and then this sort of doesn't align with anything. So if this was me, I would, and it is me because I'm doing it right now, I would bring these text in line with the T and the bottom of the Y there. So you can do that with rulers. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you're doing this sort of stuff, the program we would use would be Adobe Illustrator. You wouldn't want to use Photoshop, mostly because Photoshop renders rasterized images, which are very good for stretching larger than the size they're designed in, whereas Illustrator creates vectors, which means they can stretch up and down. So looking at this, you kind of want that line to be a continuation. It's about as close as you can get. And then if you're going to add the full stop, I'd probably add it here. And then a dirty, I would probably move to the top here, like so. And again, it's another one of those things where the A is a bit bigger than the D. So for me, I'd want this to line up a bit better. Or the other question is the A making much of an impact for this logo? Or would you want it something smaller like that? I feel like that's probably a little bit more balanced. The other thing you can look at here as well is the spacing between the letters. Usually fonts aren't spaced that great. You can change it to optical, which is where it tries to do it optically, or the program tries to guess. Or metrics is where it does it by actual maths, I guess, or measurements. And then auto is the default font size. Usually I'll expand it for a logo. And then ungroup, so that means I can now move these letters around, and I'll just try and either space. You can either space it specifically, like you might go, oh, I need that. I want that space to be even on all. So between what this touches and what that touches to always be the same distance apart. So that would be the closest bit there, and then. Whoop. And then again there, and then up here on the top of the T. And that would be spacing it between the joins. But then of course you need to make the adjustment on life. And then of course you want to make sure the space between these is also the same, just for continuity. So let's do that there. Alright, so that's probably what I would do just to tidy up the logo itself. And then the other thing I'd probably do from here is dirty this logo up. So this design is all about, or what they do is all about that dirty life, and at the moment it's not a very dirty logo. So what I'll do is I'll create a new artboard, just so you can see what we're going to do. And I'm just going to change the color of this for the time being to just a grey. And what I've done earlier is I have gone and purchased this grungy dirt image that I'm going to import and then sort of mesh it in with the word dirty. It is this one. So we want this logo to feel a bit more dirty in appearance. So I've got these scratches, or this dirt texture. And what you do is you sketch it into an art. So it basically takes the black and makes it an illustration and removes the white. As you can see, it's a bit more dirty there. And then what I want to do from there is expand. So expand then takes all these little objects and makes them editable. So as you can see, I can edit each little black dot that's there now. But now I just want to make it a compound path, which basically makes it one shape instead of individual shapes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to merge it with the word dirty by combining the paths, or dividing the paths. And what's that doing now is where the logo cuts through the dirt, it's now made little etches into the word dirty. So the best way to show that is to ungroup, and I can start. So I'm just going to lock the A and the life. Or I'm not, because I can't keep missing the letter. Okay, object locked. I'm just doing that so I don't accidentally delete it. Alright, so now what I can do is grab all of that. What I'm doing is grabbing all the stuff I don't want, which is all this junk here, anything that's not over the letters basically. Select, you can also select everything that's that color, so select same fill color, and if I delete that, now you'll see the logo looks a bit dirtier. If I wanted to make that a different color behind, I could by either bringing in this and placing it underneath, and then changing the color. Like that, but I prefer for it to sort of be coming through, so I'm going to change this back to black now. And you'll see everything I missed. Select same fill color. There we go. Now I'm going to make this black. And you can see it's a bit more grungy, a bit more dirty. The other thing you can do is, especially in this instance, I'm going to make this black again, like their original logo. Gradient. Excuse my silence. And then if you could add a bit of drop shadow to give it some more depth again. Probably not something that's going to work very well in all scenarios, because you generally want a logo to be as simple as possible. So I've just added some drop shadow there just to give it some more depth. And then just for one more thing, I will probably just find an image of a muddy four-wheel drive. Sorry, muddy. I'll go muddy tires. Nope. Muddy waters. So I can't see what I'm doing. I'm actually just searching for images on another screen. We'll grab this one. And again, it's going to create another artboard. Windows. One more artboard. So I've just copied that again. And here we got a picture of a four-wheel drive. I've just whacked in there for the time being, and my computer is going very slow. All right. I'm just going to drop the opacity on this. So this isn't part of the logo, this is me sort of just creating some variations, which is what we would normally do to show a client how their logo might be able to be used in different sort of situations. And so when you design a logo, you always want to make sure It's versatile for dark backgrounds, light backgrounds, etc. And there you have it. That would be our first ever Pimp My Design, where we've redesigned. Well, I haven't really overdone it, because I actually think the design was originally not bad. But again, so this is the original design. If you just wanted to tidy it up, that is what I would do. Just some simple hierarchy. I'd move the full stop to the end. I would also just make sure all the spacing of these letters is right, and I'd probably drop the A because I don't really feel like it's adding that much value overall to the design. Then if you wanted to make sure or play on the words that you've got, you might want to dirty up the word dirty. You can then use that just like that as you will, and then if you wanted to add some depth or see what it looked like on an image, you could drop shadow or whatever to give it some oomph. So that's the first redesign. So if you would like to send us a design for us to redesign live, we're doing these every fortnight. I've put a link in the bio. If you'd like to get in contact for us just to help you out, we can do that as well. Anyway, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this as a program. That's it for now. Good night.